up! Rise up! Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up!
Wake up!
I've been wanting to do this one for a while. A little nervous to do it, but you know what? You can't be nervous when it comes to your safety and your life and your freedom. You just gotta go for it and say what's in your heart. On May 30th at Queen's Park, I said that eventually, quote, eventually the police will support us because we're fighting for them too.
Back the blue!
With the recent actions last week of retired veteran Quebec police officer Maxime Ouellette, and with just yesterday in Alberta, another police officer who's taken a side with freedom, it has now begun. I pray to God, Officer Ouellette's example will resonate with our great law enforcement officers that are here and across the country, and even our military, our great Canadian soldiers. I pray his example will help you to remember why you all became law enforcement. To remember when you were children with dreams of being a police officer to fight against injustice. To remember and realize that you got to chase your dreams and make it a reality to be a police officer. Like we all get to chase our dreams in this country, this wonderful country. But your children, our children, your children's children, our children's children, dreams is all they will ever have if these criminals in power succeed.
Right! You're right. You're right.
At some point, likely very soon, you'll probably end up having to make the most important decisions of your lives. You'll have to choose tyranny or humanity. And whichever side you choose, it's important to remember that laws will be broken on either side.
Okay.
This is important to remember. Do you enforce the illegal, unconstitutional laws and mandates of the criminals in power that destroy our lives and our country and your lives and your children's lives? Or do you uphold the good, just laws, the Canadian Constitution and the Charter designed to safeguard ours and yours basic human rights and freedoms? The good news is that it's not really a difficult decision because it is literally a choice between good and evil.
Yes! Yes!
However, acting on that decision is far more difficult. I can't understand how difficult a position they put you in. I feel for you, I really do. I really do. I have the utmost respect for our law enforcement officers. I have all my life.
Yes.
You know? But I know it's really hard to act on the decision. So I'm going to share with you a little piece of forgotten history to perhaps help you and all of our Canadian soldiers and those around the world even. In fact, what happened was, it was Christmas Eve on 1914. Have you ever heard about that? Probably not. This is one of the greatest examples of humanity that I've ever heard of, and I'm going to share it with you. It was Christmas Eve 1914 on the front lines of the Western Front during World War I, which had already claimed more than 1 million lives. The guns had stopped on Christmas Eve in some parts of the Western Front, and some soldiers put up some Christmas trees with burning candles. And then you started to hear very faintly in the distance on opposite sides of no man's land, in the trenches, they started to hear Silent Night being sung. And then something happened. The other soldiers started to sing too. Oh, this is something, sorry. The other soldiers started to sing too. And then in the morning of Christmas Day, guess what happened? One of the soldiers put down his guns. He took off his helmet and he stood up slowly, scared to death, and went like this.
Okay.
And guess what happened then? A soldier from the other side, a German soldier, he got up slowly. They were nervous. At first they pulled their guns. Because, you know, it's the opposite side.
Yes.
They all got their guns ready.
Yes.
But then one of the German soldiers realized what was happening, and he put down his gun and he did the same thing.
Okay.
And they got up and they walked to the middle of no man's land,
Okay.
in the middle of World War I. And they started to shake hands.
That's
And then they started to give each other some gifts. What little they had, they gave some chocolate.
Yes, yes.
Or some various things they had. To the opposing side. Both sides did this. And then you know what happened? They started to show each other pictures of their children. And their loved ones. And they realized, what the hell are they doing sitting here trying to kill each other when all they want to do is be with their families?
That's right! That's right!
They even played a game of soccer.
What?
Yeah, they found this from diaries they found from soldiers from World War I. Now, could you imagine these soldiers on both sides? They're at war. They're fighting a war for who? Wealthy elites and governments.
Yeah.
That's what they were fighting. They weren't fighting for themselves. They were just sent out there to fight and kill each other for some wealthy elites, just like they're going to try to do today.
Lock them up!
Unfortunately, it only lasted that one day because they started to hear firing and artillery in the other various parts of the Western Front. Oh yeah, and there was one soldier, a young soldier, was very upset with them at the time. His name was Adolf Hitler.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, of course he'd be upset. Why is this important? Why did I share this story with our fellow officers and to talk to all the soldiers around the world? Because they're pitting us against each other.
Yeah.
But we're on the same side.
Yes! The same family!
This is important because these people in the war were just normal people. They just wanted to live their lives in peace, support for their families, and raise their children and have the freedom. For one moment, their hearts said one thing. No. That's what those soldiers did that one day. They said no. And today we're here to say no. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to go and put my life on the line for a bunch of wealthy elites who want to take my God-given rights away.
You're right on. You're right on. Right on.
Now, I know my fellow police officers, we need you. And I tell you, I know that in your profession you probably see the worst sides of society. And perhaps maybe even become jaded and may have lost your faith in humanity. I really wouldn't blame you if I saw that kind of stuff every day. But in such an environment, it's easy to forget that the vast majority of the population are just average law-abiding citizens who just want to live a normal life.
Yes, sir.
And free!
Free!
Yes, sir.
We need you to be true to the blue. Serve and protect what you know is right and true. All of us here have ignited the flames of freedom, but with you, those flames will change to blue, and we will be hot enough to cut through anything that gets in the way of our God-given rights to live. Free. Please do not be the spear of tyranny, but the shield of humanity. Don't be their boots, the globalists. Don't be their boots of oppression, but the hand of protection. Because I know you are. And I know that's what you want. Please, arrest the criminals in power for their egregious crimes against humanity so Parliament and the courts can reopen and prosecute all of these people involved. And I tell you, your actions, if that happens, they will echo across the world. Echo like a shot across the bow of the globalist oppressors. You will be heroes. heroes. I really hope when the time comes you'll choose to be with us, and I think you will, because you have hearts, and you have children, and you want them to live and be free.
That's right.
Of course, the first stepping stone is to get rid of those symbols of oppression, those masks. I tell you, one day, could you imagine what that would be like if one day, just for a brief moment, all the police officers took off their masks? Could you imagine the power of a statement like that? Oh my God! That would send a shockwave of hope to all corners of the earth and terrifying those seeking to enslave all of us in their technological chains. What a statement that would be. Well, I pray today I get to see that day. You know. Okay, I've been talking a lot. It really comes down to this. We need you. We need you. We need all of you. We need our soldiers. We need the Canadian soldiers. We need all the soldiers around the world to know that you can't let these globalists pit you against your own people. Don't let them do it. And let's be like those soldiers in 1914. They were enemies, but they saw at the end of the day, they were human beings. They were human beings, and may God let that unite us. Thank you.
Back the blue! Back the blue!
Thank you, Mike.
Back the blue!